more than meets the eye. 2 Kings chapter 6, 8 through 23. Can you remember a time you were really afraid of something or someone? Was it a noise, a person, or maybe a situation? In our Bible story for today, Elisha's servant was very frightened. Israel and Aram were at war, and God was helping Israel. Whenever the Aramean king would plan to attack the king of Israel, God would tell Elisha. Then Elisha would warn the king of Israel, "Don't travel to the east today, because the Arameans are going to be there." And sure enough, the king of Aram would be hiding just where Elisha said. This happened time after time, and it made the king of Aram very angry. "Who is a spy for Israel?" he growled at his generals. One general knew the truth. "None of us are spies," he said. "But Elisha, the prophet, knows everything we're about to do. He even knows what you say in your bedroom." "Where is this man?" the king of Aram roared. "Go find out where he is so I can send men to capture him." The report came back. "He's staying in Dothan." "Then we will attack Dothan and get rid of this nuisance," the king announced. He called his fighting men and sent them off to capture one lone prophet. The king was sure that if his army could capture Elisha, they could defeat Israel. What a foolish idea! Elisha hadn't been spying. God, who knew everything, was protecting his people. One of the first people to wake up in the morning was Elisha's servant. He saw the large Aramean army camped around the city. He saw horses, he saw chariots, he saw armor glistening in the first rays of the rising sun. The message: God help us when we are in trouble. Pray to God, and God will help you in the moment of your need. "What will we do?" he cried. Elisha's servant was afraid. He had forgotten whose side God was on. Elisha had not. "Those that are with us are more than those that are with them," he explained to his servant. Then he asked God to open his servant's eyes. When the servant looked again, he saw another army. It covered the hills around Dothan, and its chariots shone like fire. It was God's army, and his army wasn't going to let anything happen to Elisha and his servant. Elisha prayed again. "Strike the enemy army with blindness, Lord." So God made the whole enemy army blind. Then Elisha went out of the city. He marched right up to the blind general. "This isn't the road you want," he said. "Follow me, and I will lead you to the one you're looking for." Elisha led the blind enemy army right to the king of Israel. Then God opened the enemy soldiers' eyes. They were trapped inside Israel's capital city. "Shall I kill them?" asked the king of Israel. "No," Elisha responded, thinking of God's grace. "Feed them and then send them home." That is exactly what King of Israel did. God had conquered the enemy with blindness, a good meal, and grace. God helped Elisha when he was in trouble. He will do the same for you because he loves you very much. The memory verse: "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them." Psalm 34:7. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them.